So today I'm cooking myself a Vesta paella, and it comes in a pack. The instructions are to take the packet of rice, which is quite a lot of rice, and to fry it in some butter. Well, I haven't got any butter. And then you're supposed to add 600 millilitres of water. So because I didn't put any butter in, I added 300 millilitres of milk and 300 millilitres of water, and then you add in the paella mix, which is basically prawns, dried vegetables, and things like monosodium glutamate, yeast extract, and other tasty stuff that no doubt is completely bad for you. And then the problem is you have to boil it for 20 minutes. Now, I'm not sure how much gas is in my canister, so I'm just hoping it will make it. I've turned it down a bit, and we'll see what the end result is. It is starting to reduce and thicken. This is the cooker that I use, or camping stove. It's one of those mini ones that you get from China. It just screws onto the top of the butane propane mixture tank, which are quite inexpensive to buy. I mean, my biggest problem is taking it with me on the motorcycle, because I've got very little room because of all the things that I like to pack, like cameras and tablets and mobile phones and chargers. At the moment you can see there's a USB lead running from the bike all the way into the tent, and it's charging my phone. My main concern though is, will the battery still have enough juice in the morning to start it up when I want to go to Brands Hatch? I actually bought the lead from China. I think it was about £3. It's a 10 metre lead. Well, it can't be 10 metres, it might be 5, I'll measure it later. It's quite thick, so I think it can take quite a large amperage. Best milk to use is sterilised milk when you're camping, because it lasts a lot longer, because they pretty much exterminate all of the bacteria. So any bacteria that gets into it will get into it after you've opened it, and it will take a few days to actually develop. So if you're going for a short camping trip, well, I've got semi-skimmed, but sterilised milk is absolutely perfect. Some of you GSX aficionados may be wondering where I plugged the 12 volt USB lead in, and I've actually fitted an aftermarket socket. But there is something that you can buy off eBay again, which is just 2 crocodile clips which clip on the top of your battery, and at the other end there's a 12 volt socket. So that sort of works in case you haven't got what you need, and that's also a USB lead which has nothing to do with it. This is the packet. I'm not sure whether you can read the ingredients, but I'll zoom in on them, and then that will just completely fill the screen, and you can pause it. So these are the ingredients. Thumbs in there, bollocks. This is the campsite that I'm staying on. It's a farm site, and it's in Sidcup. And Farmer Bill, who's also got a nice farm shop, he obviously hasn't sold out to the developers, which the rest of sort of, I think they call it Greater London, has. The people over this side don't have any power, hence the USB charging, and the people over the other side are the posh people, and they have got power with hookups, as they call them. And there's quite a few foreign people here. There's French, and I think in German. Let's see if we can zoom in on this registration plate. Well, I might have to put it over later because I've got the sun in my eyes, but that certainly doesn't look English to me. And over the back you can see the farm shop. And over here, this field that just looks like sticks is actually asparagus. And every day Farmer Bill comes out and he bends over and he picks all these sticks. No wonder asparagus is expensive. Apparently it grows from April until July, and then that's the end of the season. But it's very labour intensive. When I said to him about it, he said that It's so expensive because of the chiropractor bills for his bad back, presumably. And even though it's a farm site, up over the back here is quite a busy road, but I mean, I knew that. The reason I came here is it's near Brands Hatch, basically. And that gets absolutely chock-a-block with cars. You see London buses. And just over in yon distance is quite a nice local pub. Very traditional English pub. Cheap beers, lots of dogs, country folk. Well, country-ish. Because don't forget we're only like, I think 17 miles from the centre of London. Maybe less, I think it might be 7 miles, I can't remember. You'd have to look it up. And this has been the first heat wave of the year, so I thought I'd just make the best of it. An update on charging your phone from a USB lead from the battery when the bike's not running. I checked it about 10 minutes ago and it was showing that the phone was 45% charged, and I thought, well, that's a bit strange because it was like 50% charged when I put it on charge. And I've just checked it now and it was 44% charged, so maybe it's actually either putting power into the bike battery, but it's certainly not charging the phone up. What I'm going to do now is try and start the bike and see how that goes. Okay, so this is the moment of truth. Well, I've got to pull the clutch in as I start it, so I'll walk round to the other side, cock my leg over it. Ow, flipping heck, I nearly swore then. Just bashed my bare foot on the foot peg. The reason that cord is across the bike is to remind me that I've got a lock on it, because I have actually driven off without a lock once. I mean with the lock on, without actually taking it off once. Well, it seems to be, not sure about that. I'm going to put the camera on the tank while you listen. Oh, well, that seems to start alright. That should start alright tomorrow now. Of course, now I'm wondering whether I've used the last of the juice and I ought to be letting it run for a while. I better not make too much noise on this beautiful rural campsite. The birds didn't seem to like it very much, so I better switch it off. Bollocks. Now that would drain the battery. Did anyone notice that I actually put it onto parking light? Now that would have drained the battery. The paella's nearly ready, but the rice is slightly hard, so I'm going to cook it a bit longer. The only problem is though, because the flame's in the middle, it's making the pan a bit burnt, because it's not like a conventional stove at home. Although I suppose the heat does appear to be fairly well dispersed if you look at the bubbling, but anyway, it's definitely hotter in the middle, so the pan's going to be a pig to clean, and as I'm going home tomorrow evening I might take it home and do it then. So here we have it. That's Vesta paella as promised on the packet, and that is the reality. However, it tastes quite nice, so I should enjoy that. And that is the burned pan. I'll see what that looks like in the morning after I've soaked it in water.